You feel it, don't you? That creeping weight every morning when the market opens, choking the sharpness out of your edge. The pressure to perform, to predict, to be right again and again, under a system that's designed to keep you in a cage of repetition. Hedge funds aren't just about money anymore. They've become a battleground where the traditional rules suffocate the rare ones, those who think differently, who see beyond the noise, who refuse the comfort of the herd. Every model you know feels brittle, as if built on sand when the waves hit harder than ever. And yet the world expects you to dance perfectly on the surface, no cracks showing. That anxiety right there, gnawing away under your skin. It's the symptom of a deeper systemic failure. The same old strategies, the same old data points, the same endless races against machines, algorithms, hedge fund clones that mirror each other so closely, you can barely distinguish innovation from imitation. It's exhausting. You're trapped playing a game that's losing relevancy by the day. But here's the brutal truth nobody's telling you. This isn't your fault. The entire hedge fund model was never designed for people like you. The disruptors, the outliers, the ones who see the cracks everyone else is glossing over. It was built to perpetuate a system that rewards conformity disguised as brilliance, where the real edge is swallowed by bureaucracy, consensus, and hollow performance metrics. What you're fighting against is not the market. It's a broken paradigm that pretends to serve innovation while burying it alive. This isn't about tweaking a strategy or adding another AI layer. It's about unsettling the very foundation investors, managers, leaders have been standing on for decades. Decades of vivid illusions telling you that sticking to the model will protect you. But that model is a cage, and it's cracking faster than you think. Imagine this. What if the greatest insight you can have isn't in the market, in the data, in the next secret algorithm, but in the model itself? What if the entire hedge fund world is on the verge of a shocking upheaval, powered by something so simple, yet so twisted, that when understood, it will feel like the ground beneath your feet shifts beyond anything you've ever felt? That one insight, the one overlooked truth that could dismantle centuries of finance tradition, has been there all along, hiding in plain sight. The idea that success isn't in controlling risk by spreading bets, but in harnessing the ferocious, singular power of genuine connection. You see, hedge funds have been trying to beat complexity with complexity, layering one strategy on top of another, building an algorithm so dense even the creators lose sight of what they're really targeting. But that complexity trades away humanity. The models assume markets are just patterns to be decoded, dismiss the unpredictable spark of human insight that can't be captured by equations. And it's human insight, raw and fierce, that will disrupt the entire hedge fund model. Because the system has locked brilliance away, divorced it from alliance and meaning. What if instead of competing with others in silence, we learn how to align with the few who burn as fiercely as we do? Those rare minds who reject comfort, who question every assumption, who refuse the status quo. This is bigger than diversification or risk mitigation. It's a movement from a world that mass produces investors and leaders, as if by instruction manual, to a world that births sovereign individuals who wield their own will as their ultimate weapon. The truth is brutal but freeing. The old ways fail the ones who shine brightest because they don't account for the raw power found in radically different perspectives when connected, when fiercely united, when synergized, not just by chance, but by deliberate design. The power lies in understanding that disconnection is the enemy. Not just disconnection from information, but disconnection from each other. The misalignment of rare minds keeps potential locked away. Everyone's working in silos, trapped in echo chambers of safe strategies and wearable titles, pretending that conformity equals security. But it never has. The market rewards the unpredictable, those who refuse to be boxed in. Think about the times when you felt isolated with ideas so radical, so misaligned, they felt condemned by the very system you're part of. That isolation is no accident. It's built into the architecture that governs hedge funds today. It keeps the spark from becoming a wildfire. But what if the disruption you seek isn't about beating the market, but breaking the system's grip on human brilliance? What if you stop trying to fit into a flawed structure and start to build something new, something autonomous, unshackled, something that acknowledges the value of every rare connection, every misfit mind-craving resonance? Imagine a network where misaligned brilliance doesn't get wasted, but instead becomes potent aligned power. This isn't some fantasy. It's a rebellion happening quietly around you, a collective refusal to scale noise, to duplicate mediocrity, to bow to expectations that keep the most daring locked away. To disrupt the hedge fund model, what's needed is not more conformity, but radical individuality united by ruthless freedom. Freedom from old rules, freedom from empty quotas, freedom from the chains of consensus that dull the edge you spent years sharpening. This is the core. Don't add new layers to the old model. Tear it open. Connect the few who dare. Build alliances that transcend borders, titles, institutions. When those few link up, they don't just predict the next wave, they create it. The power of such a network is unimaginable. It doesn't depend on complexity, it thrives on clarity and ruthless selectivity. It's about choosing to stand with those who burn as you do, not those who dim your fire. The old world fools you into believing freedom comes from safe protocols, from hedging bets just enough to avoid risk. But true power comes from embracing your unique fire and finding the rare few who amplify it. Together, you create a force that can't be predicted, managed, or boxed in. In this space, risk becomes opportunity, ambiguity becomes clarity, isolation becomes unity. Every second that ticks away without this insight is a lost battle in a war that's already decided. Markets will shift, pressures will mount, and those still anchored to outdated models will face collapse. But those who recognize this, who choose to step beyond, stand not just to survive, but to reshape the entire landscape. The hedge fund model as it exists is not just failing, it's dying. The way forward is chaotic, yes, but fertile. Full of chance to rewrite what investing means, what leadership means, what vision itself can be. To claim your place in this new reality, the challenge is enormous but clear. Reject the safety of the herd. Question everything. Not just the market, but every rule, every norm, every truth you've accepted without fight. Align fiercely only with those few who shame you into growing, who feed your fire rather than snuff it out. Patience, the long game, is your weapon. Because real progress isn't a sprint, but an eternal climb up a mountain nobody's dared scale before. The new hedge fund model will be born not from algorithms, but from alliances. Not from safe bets, but from bold trust. Not from complacency, but from rebellion. You may have been trained to see hedge funds as machines, data points, models. But at the core, it's people, rare individuals whose power is amplified when they connect beyond borders, beyond systems, beyond history. This isn't for everyone. It's not for those who want comfort or conscription into what's safe. It's for those who know there must be more beneath the surface, those tired of playing by rules they never made. If that tension inside you, the quiet scream that there's something bigger, something real, something brutal and beautiful waiting, is alive, then the time is now. There is no easy way out, no shortcuts. But there is a way for those who dare to burn, to break, to remake, to build from the ashes of the old a new autonomous network. A place where misfit brilliance finds its twin flame, where isolated stars become a constellation fierce enough to disrupt markets, overturn models, and unleash revolution. This is not just insight. It is an act of defiance, a promise that the future isn't owned by the past. And those who see this chance, who seize it with ruthless clarity, will move beyond hedge funds as we know them. They will become the architects of something that finally honors the exceptional in us all.